This was just supposed to be a chill vibe. And then I fucking dropped it. Jesus Christ. Sorry, cheese and rice. Highly recommend Yerba mate, or however you want to say it. Rebel berry is pretty good. My favorite, like the lemon one, and Paige's favorite is the blue Foria. So it's really good. It isn't like too sweet, but it's sweet enough for me because like I need something that I'm drinking. If it's supposed to be a little sweet, I need it to be like sweet. Like it needs to register as sweet to me, which this does for the most part. The peach one is a little disappointing because it doesn't really taste all that much like peach or very sweet, so I wanted to love that one, but I don't. And it has a lot of caffeine in it without being coffee, so that's good for my GI tract, as I'm on a bunch of medications that are for my RA and my mental health and all that good stuff, and they don't go well with like high acidity food or drinks, so tea has been my go-to lately, and this is really good. So there's that. They're also on the more expensive side, so we usually get like a big thing of tea, like sweet tea from like the Gold Peak or whatever it's called, and then I put some like juice in it with some ice. Ooh, it's so good. I also try to sweeten it a little bit with some cane sugar type, the like thing that you push, the pump. It's really good like that. At least I like it a lot. And it has some caffeine in it, has some juice, keeps you hydrated, keeps my energy up. So I really like that. So that's usually what I drink. But we went to Target recently and we were stocking up on stuff so we don't eat out as much because we're on a budget, and we picked these up. They're like really refreshing, and I need a lot of caffeine, and these have a really high caffeine content. So there's that. Anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to come on and do some knitting and other crafting. I also have crochet here. Right now, I am working on this sweater, and I'm really disappointed because I've had to take this thing apart so very many times, but that's not why I'm disappointed that happens. What's frustrating is that sometimes I forget the pattern and like where I'm at in the pattern while I'm working, and it's supposed to be like a waffle stitch, and it's now like an extended. It's pretty hard to see, but there's a lot more space up here than down there, and it's not supposed to be like that, but it is at the bottom. Like this is the bottom of the sweater, so I'm hoping that maybe if I just continue to knit up, like it'll just be this little weird thing that happened at the bottom, and like maybe it's like makes it look different and like in a good way or just in a neutral way so no one really cares. Obviously I care, so I'm like on the fence about whether or not to rip it apart. But as you can see, I put in a lifeline, which is basically just, for those of you who don't know, it's just like this free like scrap yarn that you weave through the working yarn that's on your needles. So it starts when the ribbing ended, so that I don't have to keep taking out the ribbing every single time, because I'm satisfied with how this ribbing came out. So I was like, okay, I want to keep this rib, and if I want to keep it, I need to put a lifeline in because I know I'm going to be ripping this apart like probably 10 million times. That was true, so I'm really glad that I put this lifeline in, but of course it's still frustrating to have to rip it apart every single time that I make a mistake. So I'm trying to be a little bit nicer to myself and just say it's okay that I made a mistake, but I can still finish it even with this mistake in it. And yes, it's true that I can still do it, will this forever stare me in the eye whenever I see this or wear this? Perhaps. But can I release that and just allow it to be and then do better on my next one or do differently on my next sweater? Yes. So I'm gonna try to just keep knitting it, even though my instincts tell me to rip it apart. I don't want to, and I don't have to. Trying to remind myself of that. So there's that. So I'm going to be working on this, and I have this cute little yarn Genie. I don't know if y'all know or are on this already, but it's my new obsession a little bit. Like, I don't really like the word obsession because of reasons, mostly like ableist reasons, but I just really enjoy this, and I think it's because like it's swingy. Not just that, but it's like helpful. You see how it like easily pull. I don't need to be like, I usually just put my yarn on the ground and then let it unravel itself as I'm like pulling it, but that's a lot of pulling for my shoulder, which I've just learned is like the worst thing I could do for my shoulder because of what's up with it right now. So I'm trying not to do that as much, and this thing really helps. It helps release that tension from the ball of yarn or whatever yarn you are using, and you put it on there and it's nice. And please don't judge this. I know it's not a ball, but like I've unraveled this thing so many times, so now it's like this thing like me. And I'm also working on this hat, which is now large. It was originally too small, so I kept growing it. I'm hoping that it's not too big, but honestly it's sizable. Actually, it fits pretty comfortably on my head. Like, I have a larger head, I would say. It's giving a bucket vibe, so maybe it's working because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a bucket hat. So I really love it, honestly, because it's checkers, and like I want to just make a bunch of checkered things, so I'm working on this as well. And the only reason why it looks so good and I'm this far on it is because of my friend Archer. They're at Studio Archer here on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and I'm probably missing something. Discord. We hung out on Discord 2 times now, and that is why this looks like this, because Archer helped me actually learn how to crochet. Now, could I have done a little bit more research and watched a few more videos to try to figure it out? Perhaps. But I didn't need to, because I had my community, and that is Archer. And god damn it if we didn't figure it out, what I was doing wrong, like that's subjective, but I wanted it to look a particular way, which is the way that the pattern showed it looking, and I couldn't figure it out. And it's because I didn't know like where the join, like where you're supposed to join in the round, if you're joining like the whole stitch under both bars, the front and the back bar, or just the front bar, and when to do that. Also, like what counts as stitches, or what counts as like the active stitches that you can like work through versus the ones that you just leave because they're too tight or whatever, or they just don't count for some reason as like the stitch that you're supposed to work on. So I didn't know anything about that, and I just kept getting a product that I wasn't happy with, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm following the video, I feel like I'm following the pattern, and it just keeps not working, and I was so frustrated. And then Archer comes in and just fucking saves my life. I'm not even kidding. So thank you so much, Archer. And yeah, you've been so helpful and such a great friend. I'm so happy that we met on social media. I know that you live in Australia, but I'm really glad that we can at least like talk over like video chat and things like that, because this wouldn't be possible without you. And I wouldn't have a friend. I have some friends, but I wouldn't have a friend who's a crafter and knows crochet so well and also does knitting and a bunch of other things like I do, and also really relates to me on a lot of things, like chronic illness wise, neurodivergence wise, gender wise. I just really appreciate Archer. Obviously, this is like a shout out to Archer. This is made possible by Archer. Go follow them, go like spam their account, like everything and everything and everything. Okay. All right. So now I wanted to show y'all something else that I'm about to work on. I don't know if you saw my post. It was on Instagram. A little sneak peek of this I showed y'all in my video about knitting in public day. I think that's what it was. And I won this at Neckerchief, which is another shout out because I fucking love Neckerchief. It's my local yarn shop, and I love them so much. So they gave me this bag and it had a bunch of stuff in it, and this is one of the things that was in it, and it's smushy cashmere. And just look at these colors, like clearly this fits my vibe, and it has this like minty green in it too, I just love it. I'm really excited to make a neckerchief with this actually, which at first I thought maybe I should make some socks. It'd be comfy to make some like cashmere-y socks, but you know what? I saw this neckerchief from Flannel and Purl. That's what it is. Or Purl and Flannel. I'm so sorry. I don't know which one it is. It's Flannel and Purl, I think. And like, he's super cool on Instagram. I follow him. And he just recently posted a picture of this neckerchief, and I was like looking at it, I'm like, that looks like the bandana but smaller that I just made. It didn't really look like it, but it reminded me of it because it's a bandana. I got the pattern from belonggg. I showed a video of how I made it, so go check that out. But it reminded me of that, and I was like, I fucking love that thing. And I also really like the idea of wearing more like neckerchiefs. Like I don't fucking know how you say it, but it's a thing that you wear around your neck, and it's like a triangle, and you like tie it, and it looks hella fucking cute. Anyway, I wanted to wear more of those because it's super gay, and like I'm gay. Yeah, let me figure out what pattern that's from, and I need to make it. And I found the pattern, and it's free on Ravelry. It's from Nicholas Knits. I will leave that down in the description so that y'all can go see the pattern. It's a free pattern, so you can download it. And of course, I will leave everyone else that I've talked about in the description as well. But anyway, I'm going to try to make that neckerchief. I thankfully have a bird, apparently. I also have these knitting needles, which are US 1, which means it's 2.5 millimeter needles, and they're Addy Turbo Rockets, which are amazing. And I learned about these from Earth Tones Girl, also here on YouTube and Instagram and things like that. These are like really pointy at the tips, and they're real tiny, of course. And they're also circular needles, so it's pretty much just everything that you would want. And I love these. It makes knitting so much easier when you're knitting like with fingering weight yarn. Yeah, this is fingering weight. Look at me. So yeah, this is a project that I want to work on as well. So there's that. And then, you know what? I wasn't planning on showing this to y'all, but like I'm going to show it to y'all because I'm just like really, I can't hold it in any longer. I got these beautiful yarns in Portland at this yarn store. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember what the yarn store was called. Oh yeah, it has it on. It's Starlight Knitting Society, and it has this really cute like image. It's like a moon, it has a face, there's some clouds and stars, and then there's this person knitting on the moon, like they're sitting on the moon. And I just thought it was really cute. I also got a t-shirt that has a ball of yarn and has some knitting needles coming out of it. It has some succulents, that's the word, and other plants around it, which of course that's like perfect for me because I love plants and all that good stuff. So we got this. It's from Ritual Dyes, local to Portland. And just, can we appreciate what? Like, it's so beautiful, honestly. It has like red and like orange flecks, and like it's like green and teal and blue, and just like those are my colors. So of course I had to get it. Beautiful yarn, and it's very soft. It's 4-ply DK weight. It says SW fine merino wool, 250 yards, and 115 grams. You see someone out there? What you do? Okay. She's so funny. You're like that. Here you go, baby. You're just gonna sit back there? Okay. Such a cutie. And this was pretty pricey, but you know what? I don't go to Oregon often. Actually, I haven't been there in 4 or 5 years. That's where I went to school for college, and we were going there to visit one of my friends for their wedding, and it was amazing. Such a beautiful wedding at the Rice Rock and Mineral Museum in Hillsboro, Oregon. It was the most picturesque wedding you could ever imagine. Plus, like, it was at a museum for rocks and minerals, and who doesn't fucking love rocks and minerals? Like, I've always loved them since I was very young and have been collecting rocks ever since. And it was just so cool to see her so happy and to get married in such a beautiful place, and a place where I knew that she was definitely gonna go get married at, because who wouldn't, honestly. Anyway, we got this one. And then, of course, I couldn't just get one. Are you kidding me? Yes. This is Cotton Supreme from Universal Yarn Inc. It says knit, relax, smile, repeat, which is a little like catchphrasey for me. The color just got me. It's 100% cotton, but it feels so nice and soft. It doesn't, I don't know, maybe cotton is nice and soft, but like some of the cottons I've been feeling like really rough and like nasty. So this is like so nice. It's so nice and soft. Like, I just want to sleep on it. It's in color 612 Emerald. I don't know if I would call this emerald, but it reminds me of malachite. I think that's what it's called. Obviously they have different colors of malachite, but this is similar. So it's so vibrant and beautiful, and it's soft. It's 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 180 yards, 165 meters. It says to use 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter needles, US 7 to 9, and 4 to 5 stitches per inch. It's made in Turkey by universalyarn.com. So there's that. Very beautiful. And lastly, I don't know how I made it out of there with only 3, but like I did it, and I'm actually proud. Why is there crumbs all up in? I think it's because I ate cookies and they fell in there. I know, I don't like it either. Okay, this is Woolfolk. I think that's who makes it. And it says FAR, but the A has a little circle above it. I'm not sure, but I read it as far. And the color is 13. The weight is 142 yards, 130 meters, 50 grams. The gauge is 16 to 17.5 stitches and 24 to 27 rows. It recommends you use the needle US 6 to 8, which is a 4 to 5 millimeter needle, and you can hand wash it on cool and lay flat to dry. So it is 100% ultimate merino wool, and 1% of profit on wool yarn goes back to Ovis 21, which I'm not really sure what that is, but I will have to look that up. I think it probably should be more than just 1%. At least it's something. If it's going to something good, like, it should probably be a little bit more than 1%. Anyway, this is 20 bucks, so pretty expensive. It looks beautiful. It's like this braided thing, so it's like multiple yarns braided together to make the yarn. And this color is just, it's like a blue teal. No, I guess it's not really teal. I don't know. Would you call it teal? Let me know. I feel like it's more on the like grayish blue side. I don't know, but it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is about this, but out of all the colors that they had, I just felt like this one was the one. So I got it. Those are the 3 yarns that I picked up. Let me see if it tells me the total. The total was $88, including the Starlight t-shirt. It says Starlight t-shirt Alice Kendall, medium, and that was 25 bucks. So including that, it was $88, which I'm not a fan of, but was it worth it? Perhaps. I don't know. Is anything worth money? Not really. Not. Actually, no. The answer is no. Should we have to pay for yarn that literally is like fabric? I don't think so. I think that like everything should just be provided by community, and you can provide whatever you want to back to the community. You all benefit from each other. But anyway, we all live under capitalism, so I do too. And I decided to purchase these yarns because I think that they will make me pretty happy. And that's all you can really do when you're living under capitalism, is try to make your own damn self happy. And join in community so that you don't need to rely as much on capitalism, because capitalism will never meet your needs. Only your community will. So remember that. And no judgment here about what you need to do to survive under capitalism. The only thing I ask is to join us in community so that we can all support each other. That means sending yarn supplies, sending money so people can buy yarn supplies if you have money that you can spend for that purpose and want to spend for that purpose. That means sharing knowledge that's been gatekept from communities that don't have the resources or the education to actually know these things or to learn them. Just accessible things in general, support, emotional support, financial support, any kind of support, accessibility, community, love, all the above we can get from each other. And that's what I'm trying to build here on all social media. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to open a Instagram group chat type situation, but I don't have enough followers yet. So hopefully y'all can go follow me on there so that as creatives, hopefully queer or at least queer friendly people, we can all join together and help support each other. That would be great. So yeah, hopefully y'all are with me on that and want to join me on that journey. I'm hoping that at someday I'll be able to open like a studio with a bunch of art materials and people can just come and use them without paying and just make art with each other and support each other. Like, I would love to have a huge frame for making rugs and other kind of like tapestry type things, like a sewing machine, knitting needles, crochet hooks, yarn, like paint and canvases, and basically all art. I'm hoping to get like enough people and enough funds in order to open that, at least where I am locally, which is in Sacramento. As of now, I don't know of any studios here that allow that, but I know of someone I follow on Instagram lives in a place that does have that, like a studio where you can just go and do art, like tufting and things like that. And I am jealous, but I'm jealous because what an amazing resource for the community, and every community deserves that. So I'm gonna try to do that for our community in Sacramento. I feel like we deserve it. I know that we deserve it, and I know everyone deserves something like that. So let's do it. Let's try. If y'all are down, I'm down. I'm obviously down. I just personally think it's a really good idea, and I think it would be amazing for people, me included. So with that said, I am going to start knitting a little bit, maybe crocheting a little bit.
This video would be an hour long if I let it. So if you want to see part 2, please subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when it's uploaded. Bye.